All right, guys, before we get too far into, drawing from concealed, if you're new to firearms, get training first. Nez here, he's got some great options. Nez?
Yeah, man. If you're a first-time gun owner, if you are new to firearms, if you are a what we call intermediate shooter, it doesn't matter. If you've been to tons of classes, makes no difference to me. I'll be able to make sure that you are a safe, effective warrior. Whether it's your first time handling a gun, I would prefer that you come out to a range that someone is qualified, that knows what they're doing to teach you the proper things. That will A, keep you safe, B, help you from not building bad habits, and C, it'll get you on the right path to not only having a successful time on the range, but to actually truly enjoying and being able to progress and grow to where you feel proficient and confident to win the fight of your life if it ever comes your way.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And that's super important too, because before you start trying to draw a loaded gun here, you need to be proficient with a loaded gun here.
For sure.
Let's go on into it here. In my mind, and how I kind of approach any type of shooting, if I'm doing any type of drill, I break it down in steps. So, I've got, my step 1, step 2, step 3, and 4, just like that. And you always start slow, you build on that. And as you get faster, you see what works, what doesn't work. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where I go. Is that how do you go about, training for a new drill?
Yeah, for sure. Breaking things down to a step-by-step process helps. Having realistic expectations, having an actual goal that you're working for. So if your goal for an experienced shooter should be able to draw from concealment and hit a zone in about 1.5 seconds, pretty consistently.
Absolutely.
A beginner shooter should be able to do it in under 3 seconds. So what I would say is, if you're brand new to this, or if you've already gotten just a little bit of training, set a timer on your phone, go get a par timer, set a par timer, and just get some dry reps in on the range itself and get that down first.
Absolutely.
Understand what you're starting at, and then decide, hey, I want to shave 0.5 seconds off over the next 60 days. Figure 100%. Out a course of action, build it, and work towards it.
100%. I mean, this isn't Call of Duty where everything's automatic and you're just going to be 100%.
That'd be sweet.
Right out of the gate. I would love that.
That would be sweet.
I would love that. If you want to make videos where it looks like that, that's awesome. Because I know I'm going to edit out anything that I do that's stupid. All right, so guys, what we're going to go through here is kind of like a step-to-step process on how to, defeat a garment, get a positive grip on the pistol, and percent and fire. We are running cleared guns. There's no ammo. Magazines are dry. Chambers are empty. And this is just dry fire practice. And this is where you really need to start when you're practicing this is dry fire stuff. So my step 1, and really everybody's step 1, has to be defeating the garment. So whatever is covering up that pistol that's blocking you from actually gripping it, you've got to get that out of the way. Now, a lot of guys will run, your first thought is grab and just pull up. And that's great, especially with a smaller pistol like this. It works pretty well. But something you've got to consider is that grip is sticking out at an angle, and your garment can actually hang up on that, especially if it's a more aggressive grip or a little bit longer, like he's running a larger pistol there. So what I've actually adopted, and I picked this up from John Lovell, Warrior Approach Society, in his videos, is actually grabbing and pulling towards the grip side. That way, it goes towards that grip, it defeats it a lot easier, and then from there I can go down and get a positive grip on the gun. Nez, what do you like to do?
No, I like that. Defeating the garment's always number 1. I've never seen the nipple line process going across to the grip side. I like that. I'm gonna try to work that in there and see how it feels. I'm big on textile feel. Neurologically, I know places on my body without having to think about it. I can touch my nose, touch my nipples, belly button, anywhere I need to go to, I can think about it.
Absolutely.
And so textile feel for me is one of my biggest indicators for achieving clearing garment, getting that good grip. So what I do is I actually slap the belly button, grab a handful of garment, and I go straight up to my throat. And then once I hit the throat, I get that positive grip on there.
Absolutely. Going from there to step 2, so we've defeated the garment's out of the way. There's no possible way that we're going to grab it unless we are just having the worst day of our lives.
Correct.
From here, you've got to get a positive grip on the gun. Now, if you're not wearing a shirt underneath, like I am, this can get a little uncomfortable, but I just dig my thumb right into the fat there, and I run down and jam my hand and actually push the pistol farther into my groin before I come up. And that allows me to get that really deep high grip on the pistol every time, because I'm actually trying to drive my pants clean off when I do that, and I run it all the way down. So that's kind of my thought process behind that, how I get a good grip on the pistol effectively every time. I'm not trying to like lightly grab it. I'm going all the way for it. I'm trying to overdo it. What's your mindset?
No, for sure. So the garment's cleared. What you want to do, at least from my personal experience and my training, is when we go to grip that gun, we want to have our thumb on the rear sight post, preferably off that left hand rear sight post. The reason for that is because when we come out, if we've got the gun like this, first off, and like you have an undershirt, right? What you might potentially do is when you come down is you might grab some of that cloth.
Absolutely.
So when you go to pull that pistol out, you've got the cloth and the pistol, and now you don't have a grip. Yeah, exactly. So what you want to do is shift this thumb just right there. Just let it sit on top, because here's the other reason why. When that gun comes out, this hand for our support side, our other strong side, because we don't have a weak side, when that has to marry that to build that good grip, you're going to have to move this thumb out of the way if you grab it like this. Well, if it's already out of the way, it's less movement, more efficient. I can marry that grip and I can drive that hand right over where it needs to be, and I'm already on target.
That's actually a fantastic point. I hadn't considered that. That's great.
The key to speed is efficient and effective movement. So every little tiny detail that we can think about to get rid of excess movement will clean up our draw, will make it more consistent, and will make it a lot more faster.
Absolutely. So to recap, we have defeated the garment successfully. We've gotten the positive grip on the pistol. And now we're going to go to step 3, which is to draw and or present. That can be broken down into 2 steps if you want to. I kind of do. But my big thing, at least right now, and I may change this later, especially as I learn more, especially from you, I like to draw high, get out of the holster, because then I have options. I can drop down and start to fire if somebody's right on me, or, you know, from here, I can just drop my garment and go to my 2-handed grip. Now, my big thing here is I come up under that trigger guard and just kind of slam my hand up against that, because from here, I just push. That's all I have to do. I just push, and everything wraps itself up. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to consciously grip with my support hand. I just drive the gun, and everything naturally goes.
Yep.
So that's kind of my mindset around how I approach that. What are some of your thoughts going through step 3?
Yeah, so once we clear the garment and we get a good positive grip, I'm big on, as soon as that gun clears the holster, I want to get it downrange towards my target. There are multiple steps that come before drawing a gun. Verbal judo, you know, hand-to-hand stuff, going to a knife before you go to a gun. There are a lot more options than going straight to this.
Absolutely.
But if we have to go to this, if I pull this out, it's going to be used. So when I pull this out, I need to get that muzzle away from the barrel, or away from the holster, and downrange on target as quickly as possible. So I go to here, okay? So that way I can start firing. And then what I do is I drive that gun together, and what I'm doing is I'm taking the knuckles on this joint, and I'm having them marry the knuckles on this joint. It's a very easy textile feel to know. So what they do is they marry, and then what I do is this thumb comes down, this hand pushes out, and everything just wraps right around like a nice vice grip. It's a supernatural feeling. Going from here, you can just touch your thumbs together with your knuckles touched, and you can literally just push your hand out. Your support hand, that strong side hand, the left hand for right-handed shooters, has no choice but to roll forward and tighten down on that pistol.
Absolutely.
So you were exactly right with your thought process and how you do that. Marry them, push out, because that forces that to tighten down, just like you talked about.
Absolutely.
It's great.
All right, so now that we've kind of gone through the basics of gear selection, what to look for, what to avoid, and the basics of, you know, drawing from concealed and presenting the firearm, let's load some ammo up and run a couple of drills.
Sweet. I like it.
Let's get after it.